I was just candidly horrified by the reaction that we saw on Twitter to a right-wing influencer posting a somewhat inaccurate picture of a house saying in 1950 a single income could afford this, right? There was an incredibly coordinated and messaging backlash that basically boiled down to, what possible right do you have to expect this? You're nothing, right? That framework ultimately sent me down the path of saying, hey, wait a second, this is actually really missing something that people are trying to convey. And as I dug into the numbers, and I wrote this on my piece, I was candidly horrified, because as somebody who comes out of the financial world, who has done very well and is incredibly appreciative for it, and whose children have been successful,
right?
I look at this and I'm like, this is something I never really spent a lot of time thinking about.
Right.
But the minute you dig into it, you discover that there's actually a terrible story out there.
Maybe you were living in an ivory tower and didn't know it?
I absolutely knew I was living in an ivory tower. My life is like, very few people have this.
The real math of survival, though. So we're talking about real survival, real poverty line. Child care, $32,000. Housing, $23,000. Food, almost $15,000. Transportation, almost $15,000. Health care, almost $11,000. Other essentials, $22,000. Add in taxes. You're saying the real poverty line is $140,000, essentially.
It is very close. And I want to just be clear that $140,000 doesn't mean you are literally poor, right? We're not talking about, country poor sort of stuff. What I'm describing there is that's really the threshold at which you can cover all of the expenses without government assistance and start saving, right? Start preparing for your future. That's a very, very different place than most people think it is.
Interesting. Poverty line starts at $140,000 a year. What are you all's thoughts on that? Do you understand the sentiment of what he was saying? Do you agree with it?
I think words matter, and the word poverty don't equate to $140,000 fucking dollars.
How would you define poverty without a number?
You can't pay your bills.
It's funny because there's some people in the chat that actually agree with him.
I think he's talking about if you're trying to have a straight line of being able to pay all of your bills and then save so you can build wealth. But it sounds like BS, because there are people who can make it with 70 grand a year of a salary and they still live within their means. They live small. They're not out here buying things that they like, that they want. When it comes to cars, they're working proactively where other people working reactively. So 140,000 a year may seem like poverty if you're looking at longevity, but you're also looking at spending what you want to spend and doing what you want to do, ordering what you want to order, and not thinking about sacrifice.
If wherever you can't move, you can't floor us off for $140,000, move somewhere else. Like, because they just give these like arbitrary numbers, like, nigga, where? Like, there's plenty of places where $140,000 ain't touching the dick tip of poverty. Like, what are you talking about? $140,000 in Oklahoma, nigga, I do whatever the fuck I want. I go wherever the fuck I want, and I help other people do whatever the fuck they want.
Well, to be objective, and I don't necessarily agree or disagree, because I'm not gonna give my opinion till last. But he is I forgot what his credentials are. He did do the numbers, and he did do a study, so he didn't necessarily number out of his
fuck him and his studies, nigga. I live here.
And is he even
nigga,
talking about
my bank account makes around that number, nigga. And when niggas need help, nigga,
I don't think you're hearing what I'm saying. All I'm saying is that he didn't pull the number out of his ass. He actually did a bunch of.
And is he even talking about a single person, or is he talking about a sole provider for a family of more than himself? Family of four per se.
I think the context is that he's talking about household income.
I'm trying to pull the stats of what he said. Go ahead.
I'm talking about the actual numbers.
Yeah, I didn't know I was off.
Just play it again, and then just well, never mind. No, you ain't got to play it again. I'll try to find it. Give me a second. I'll find it. Give me a little bit. I'll find it in a second.
Hey, Miss Sanchez.
But I think he was speaking about household income, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, how many people are in the house? There's a lot of things that go into that, but I do think that to say 140,000 is poverty is offensive to people who are actually living in poverty. Like to say, "Oh, I can't DoorDash today" is not poverty. To stop your Netflix subscription is not poverty. Like you may not be able to jet off to Bali tomorrow, but you are not impoverished at $140,000.
I think we need to really look at what he's saying about saving instead of worrying about the word poverty. What's funny? I don't
How
get
do
it.
we put us on the
That's
spot?
normal 2025 words. Words don't mean nothing, I guess.
Do you want me to take it off, Gary? No.
No, I
I'm
was
not,
just trying to see
I'm
how
not
if we could put
understanding
us
why
like on the
it's funny.
side, but it's okay.
Yeah, I can set that.
Um,
I got you. Give me a second. I got you.
What a
okay.
childcare. That's a $32,000 a month. It's crazy. Or a
I
year?
think
Is that a year?
Cause
Yeah.
How many kids is that?
so just to push what you said, Quentin, poverty, like not being able to cover your bills. And I think it sounded like what he was saying was if you look at what people are spending,
You see
poverty
how to
would
do it
be,
now, Carrie?
yeah, I do. Poverty would be them not being able to cover like expenses like this, which I agree with y'all though. Maybe you're spending too much on this as opposed to I just can't afford it, period. So that might be the debate. But in terms of people having these day-to-day expenses that they cannot cover, even if they're making $140,000, is that technically poverty if they can't cover these expenses? Is it?
If you can't cover it with $140,000, your problem is not your income. You have a spending problem.
So then maybe the definition to poverty, we need to add a little bit more to it. It
No, you
can't
don't
just be
have to add it. You don't
it
have to
can't.
add to it. The definition of poverty, there's a basic standard of living.
So poverty is not being able to afford the basic standard of living, not being able to afford your living or your bills, right? Is that what
Poverty
you're
is
saying?
lacking the resources, money, necessity like food, water, shelter,
So
healthcare, and
these
education for a basic standard of living. Is
so
the
these
definition.
numbers
Not
up
my
here,
definition, not your
Quentin,
definition,
I'm not fighting
the
you.
definition.
I'm not fighting I'm really talking with you. So the numbers that y'all see up here, what are your thoughts on these numbers? Are these too high for these categories?
I
I
think it's
think it's
high.
oh go ahead.
Go ahead, Molly.
No, I think it's high. I think who's his demographic that he's talking to and pulling the data from because that's high for the average person. It just looks like if you can't, if this is your expenses for the year, you could cut something back. That's a lot of money on food. Like that's over $1,000 on food per month. Maybe the woman might have to stay at home and take care of
Mm-hmm.
those kids, so y'all can eliminate childcare or not need it as much. It just seems like some people need to cut back, but they don't want to. So
So then this should be more so labeled what as people are living above their means as opposed to people
maybe for
are in
upper middle
poverty.
class, this is poverty.
Well,
I think
somewhere in America, this is true. Somewhere.
Okay.
Maybe in
And
California.
somewhere
Might
this is
be.
true.
maybe in
Dallas, your larger
California.
metropolitan areas, Dallas, New York, California, like somewhere this is true, but there's also a lot of places that it's not.
Okay.
I think maybe this number is if you make this much, you don't have to wonder how much things cost or maybe, penny pinch.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a more accurate statement for what that is. Just like, okay, I just walk in the store and I pick stuff up and I just assume I have enough money to pay for it. I
Mm-hmm.
It's
just
probably a
I
national
just
average, and
assume.
California is driving up the national average.
I think maybe
Possibly.
for a single person, um, yeah, this is not, not a lot of that's sufficient. For a two people household, yeah. But for a four person, 14K and food is rounding up to probably about what, $40 a day.
That's insane.
So, if that's the case, they basically saying poverty is existing normally in today's time, maybe if that's what if he's talking about like for a four-person household. I'm sorry.
So let me ask y'all a question. What's the number?
I don't know, but not that.
For
It's
poverty,
Where you live at?
What's the number?
Where you live at?
What's the forget the poverty line? All right, forget that word poverty perspective because I think that that's part of what's throwing off this conversation. What number do you need as far as a household income to be able to survive and kind of thrive today?
It was confusing to me when I heard this information, but I know a family that has 70K. The husband makes 70K. The wife doesn't work, and they got 5 kids. And they got a big old house right down the street. She said they fine.
That was going to be my number two, Quentin, because it says 10% of Americans are living in
Hell
poverty.
no.
If the majority
Hold on,
of
hold on, hold on, hold
people,
I was confused when she told me too. I was like, "For real?
I'm
That's
not
all your
listen.
husband make?" I thought y'all was balling over
You're
here.
not gonna gaslight me into believing that it's 7 people that's thriving off of $70,000
I
a year.
don't know how they.
I'm not.
I didn't
I'm
want to
not going for
question.
that.
I would ask no questions. I just listened to what the woman told me.
7 people, 7 in a house. No
Do
fucking
they
way.
what are is her
If
And they
the
husband
got
able
a
house
to
is
big
self
paid
house.
off, that
is
could
her
probably
is
be. I thought in
well
my
They
is
got
mind,
a
I
her
was like,
big
maybe the
house.
house is paid off or
well
something.
and is her husband self-employed?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So he might be saying like what the number is after all of the tax benefits, all of the you know what I'm saying? Like
I don't be asking
the
no questions
the
about people
take
money.
the
I was
take
just listening.
home just in case you connect to the IRS. It's like don't be telling them that we down here balling. We got 70,000. That's what we got.
I think for survive and thrive, heavy on the thrive side with 2 adults and 2.5 kids, 70 to 80,000. I think you can make that work.
I'm not 5 kids. I'm not going for
No,
5. You
not
ain't
not
gonna
if
never sell me
everybody's
on
gonna
that
eat
shit.
every day. I mean, not if y'all not eating something more than beans and rice. I don't think that's.
If the woman stays at home and cooks every day, like that saves a shit ton of money.
I think so too.
I mean, if she stayed
Like
at
a
home, that's
lot of
32,000 right there. She could
like that
save.
saves
Are
enough
we
money
talking
that y'all
about
can go on some
before?
extra vacations
Are we
just
talking
because
about
mama cook at
before or
home every
after?
day.
You said they have a big ass house.
Well, just transparency. They had a bigger house previously, so maybe they sold the bigger house for this big house, and maybe it's paid off. That's what I thought in my mind. But I don't be
Man, that's
asking.
crazy.
Is
I
this
don't be
the number
asking
before
nobody
or after
questions about their
taxes?
money.
Nobody about to sell me on that shit.
Is the number
Sounded so
before or after
disconnected from
taxes?
reality. You say what?
The number before or after taxes? Is that
I
We'll
I
say
just listened to
before
this
because
woman
that's
tell me
probably,
this, and I didn't believe it either, like Anton didn't. But hey, who am I to say what you got going on over here?
and we don't know what kind of debt they living in either. So we don't know if they're heavy
Well,
on the thrive side. I get
obviously
it.
zero if 70 is rocking with 7 people.
When
But
I
and
say
she also
thrive,
homeschools too. She cooks at home. She homeschools. That's a lot. So
when I say thrive,
this transportation number don't exist in their life.
but when I say thrive, for me, that means that you should be able to sufficiently pour into your retirement, your 401k, because you still gonna have to survive once you get retirement age. So that matters. Like you still gotta save up for retirement. You still gotta have an investment account, stuff like that. Most people don't have one. And so when I think of thrive, that's what I look at as thriving.
For a single person, I'm gonna say 120,000.
For a single
So then
person,
That's,
thriving in
what are you
poverty
eating?
what
I didn't say nothing about food, but to sufficiently put money in your retirement and living in Illinois.
oh, if you're talking about thriving,
Yes,
yeah, okay,
yes.
I feel you. I don't know, man. I'm starting to get it. I'm starting to get the impression that most women need to be working in a relationship.
Why?
Where did
Why do
that
you
come
think so?
from?
Why?
Because, man, I think that we have to, if we gonna redefine the lines and money and all of this shit, I think we also have to redefine the dynamics of a relationship. Because I don't think that most women that have only 2 kids or less is even really doing shit that would justify her staying home.
Don't most women work though?
And I think that all of them, not all of them, but most of them should work, because what women used to do back in the day to add value into a relationship, they had to actually work to be home. They had to, actually fucking cook a pie from scratch. It took all day to cook a cherry pie. You know what I'm saying? Like, they had
Put it
to
on the
actually
ledge of the
wash the
window.
clothes like, and then go out and put them on the line.
What? What was the
The
what was
thing
that?
that they do,
Washboard.
the washboard,
Okay.
yeah. They had to actually like wash the diapers. It wasn't no disposable diapers. They had to rewash them bitches and then fold it on the kid and shit. And they had to do real stuff. They had to go out and shop every day to figure out what they were going to make for the meal. They had to go to the butcher shop. They had
Sounds
to go
like
to
Carrie.
the bread shop. They had to go to all of these different stores
Carrie always
every day.
at the grocery store.
They had to do this stuff every day. Now, fuck, you throw a Tide Pod in there and you good.
Facts.
Throw a
Yeah,
Tide
but that's
Pod
also
in there.
convenience. You don't have to do that.
You turn on the dishwasher, and you got half these chicks got a Dyson or a Kirby.
Hey, I agree with you with all that, but what the fuck you talking about this reusable diaper shit?
You
What
ain't
are
never
you
heard
The
of
talking
that?
cloth
about?
Slimmy?
diapers.
Hell
You're
no,
saying
Yeah.
it's as
no,
opposed
ain't
to
no
cloth
way.
diaper.
They still have
Yeah,
them now,
Slimmy.
Slimmy.
They still
They
make
still have
cloth
them.
diapers.
Right, cloth diapering is a thing.
You can
Like
tell
they have
Slimmy ain't
men
It's
who
better for
never
the
thought
What
baby.
the fuck? That's
Slimmy
It's
ain't
better for
disgusting.
the
never
baby.
However,
Slimmy ain't never thought about a kid before.
they have service for that now too,
Bro,
though.
I
You can
changed diapers
technically
before,
have a
plenty
service
of
for it.
times. I've never heard of this
Yeah, but
reusable
you ain't
diaper
never heard
shit.
of a cloth diaper?
No, they're cloth diapers, and they even have like this little plastic
Earthy
thing you
women
put
use
over
cloth
them.
diapers still, don't they?
Yeah,
Slimmy ain't never heard of a
they're
cloth
different now.
diaper.
They
Yeah.
like snap, and you put in the little
What do
thing
you
in it.
do with it?
They got
Wash
Velcros
your
You
on
put it
them.
on
dishes.
the
Wash
That's what
it.
I'm
kid.
saying.
You take it off and you wash it with the boo boo
Hold it
stain.
over
Like
the
y'all
toilet.
drawers, just like that.
Drop it out.
And truth be told, Slimmy, it would be better for a
What,
kid
Molly?
than like
Nigga, draws
a
don't have
disposable
fucking
diaper.
fucking
Bro,
low.
just let
Quarter
her
pound
have
of
it. Let
doo-doo
her
in
have
them.
it. I
What?
heard that shit too. Let her have it. Just let that go. No. We not exploring that. Ain't gonna be
We
no
asking
poop.
a Slimmy if
Ain't
he
gonna be
got
no
like
poopy conversations 2 nights in a row. Cause I heard that shit
Why
last
are you
night.
so confused about a
Crazy.
cloth diaper?
I heard that shit last night. That shit was sick.
Slimmy, why are you so confused about a cloth diaper?
I just never. I don't remember hearing about no reusable diapers. I don't remember hearing about that shit. That shit sounds sick, man.
What do you
It's
mean?
a diaper.
It's gonna be shit stained, and you're gonna
You
use it
Less,
again.
it's probably
Yeah, you
less
wash
thick in
it.
2025 than it is
Even
back
No,
if you
then.
wash it, it's still gonna be shit stained.
no,
Slimmy,
baby's poop is no, Slim. You're not letting it. It's different.
Mister.
it's different.
So what
It's
you gotta
different.
change it immediately. You gotta take it off immediately. Put a new one
As you
on.
Well,
should.
that's
Put
Why
what
it
you
would
in.
have
you
to
let
do.
the baby sit in poo?
That's what you do with a regular
You
diaper
put a new
too.
one on. You gotta put it in the washer right away. This doesn't
You
seem that
rinse.
Why
convenient.
wouldn't you
Well,
just
you
soak
can
They
it?
rinse
make
it.
stain
You
Yeah,
can
like
rinse it
Nobody
removal.
said
off.
it
You're
was
not a
It's
parent
convenient.
either.
cheaper.
Like
It's
Well,
having to
Slimmy,
cheaper.
convenient.
Slimmy,
What does this
Slimmy,
have to do with being a parent? It just don't seem convenient.
Slimmy. So anybody who's gonna use a cloth
Having a kid
diaper,
sucking on your titties not
Slim.
convenient either.
Well, anybody who's gonna use a cloth diaper though, Slimmy, they're not using it looking for the convenience. They're looking either like their kids need to use something other than the regular
So
diaper
they don't get
because
diaper rash.
they might have allergies, or they might just be like one of those people who don't like using things with chemicals, like they want to keep it as natural as possible. So you're knowing it's not going to be for convenience. However, they do now have a cleaning service where you can get the diapers sent out, cleaned, and brought back to you. So there is that convenience that has been added in, but you
But
gotta
y'all
pay for
still ain't
that.
got to do shit.
Well, you got to do something. You just don't have to do as much as if you didn't have the service.
And the
So.
people that I know who use those cloth diapers did not have a service. They stuck the little thing, disposable thing, in the diaper or whatever. Well, not disposable. And then they take it out, wash it, stick another one in there.
Slimmy is hilarious.
I don't know what y'all talking
See,
about,
so
man. That shit's
Dirty Woman, she
nasty.
said she did it for health benefits, and further up, she said she used them too, and she used the service.
Okay, so what's the health benefits?
Well, I mean,
go
the
ahead.
stuff that's in a regular cloth diaper would be like chemically treated, right? So I know that there are kids who get diaper rash or something from it, or it's just like women with tampons or pads, like they
I said
chemically.
diaper rash.
I'm just saying they chemically treat all these things, and so because of where it's located, you're like absorbing all of this into your body, all these toxins that aren't necessarily necessary to tolerate.
It's
So
a
basically,
whole
it's just
other
like
world out
natural
here,
draws,
Slimmy.
having some natural draws on.
Yeah, like being able to have on some cotton underwear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Slimmy is hilarious.
Yeah, this still don't sound convenient.
It's not.
She just told you it wasn't for convenience.
Throw
She
them
said she did
diapers
it for
off,
her health
wrap that
purposes.
motherfucker up, football that bitch into the trash can, start anew.
Why do I feel like you could be
Hope that
talking about
baby
the
don't be
diaper
shitty
or
for the
the
rest of the
kid?
day.
Oh my god.
I feel like you could be talking about the diaper or the kid footballing it.
Absolutely not the kid. Absolutely not. No.
I don't know where to lead this because I don't know how we got here. How did we get here? Where were we?
Slimmy in his cloth
We
diaper.
can move on to the next subject.
Just had Anton talk about some reusable diapers. I'm
Wait,
just
I want to
like,
know what
wait
everybody's
a
number
minute.
is. What does
Oh,
everybody think the
Anton was
number
saying.
is?
Okay, go ahead.
I just want to know what everybody thinks the number is where you're thriving. Lex said 120. I say 70 to 80.
For Kansas City, like you said, with us 3 household, I say about 80 and up.
Anybody else?
I'm around a lot of country people, so they don't really have a super high standard of living. They're fine with, they don't need all that. So I don't know. I feel like they could live off of maybe 80,000 or less, to be honest.
I
They
remember
don't have to
My
have the
dad's had the
newest
same car for
car.
like 15 years.
Yeah, they don't have to have like a big old square footage house. Like some people don't need all that. So I'm not,
I remember
I
we
don't live
had
in a
this
big city.
conversation. We had this conversation a few months ago. And y'all said I was tripping for saying $50 a day on food wasn't realistic. I remember that. And now look,
I
this
think we
man
said it
is.
was high. Did we say it was high?
That's a lot. That's
For the
high.
record, I wasn't here for that conversation.
For
Yeah,
one
you were.
person,
Shut
that's
that
a
shit
lot.
up. You
I
was
was
right
not.
there.
No, I
You was
wasn't.
absolutely right there.
I really wasn't.
You were absolutely
I
right
came
there.
later in the conversation. I missed that whole part of that conversation.
Slimmy, did you share your number? What do you think?
I think this dude is right. He
With
said
the
he said to thriving,
No, he
able
said
to
poverty.
save.
He said
Able,
poverty.
the wrong word is poverty. That's just the wrong word. That's what I was trying to explain before I was rudely interrupted and laughed at by some goofy. But yeah, man, I don't see nothing wrong with the dude is saying, but poverty line, that ain't poverty. You know what I'm saying? Like being able to stack and thrive and flourish, that's not poverty, like though. Like you can't say stuff like that. So to me, it's like an agenda behind all that talk. Because you know good and well that 140,000 is not close to poverty. Like I ain't gonna get into all the sensitive shit and say it's an insult, but you know 140,000 ain't close to poverty. But I think that's a great number to be thriving though. That's a great number to be thriving.
fair
I mean, you
enough.
could do better than that too. For real.
Do you think that's the baseline for thriving?
I think you could thrive at 100. At 100, you could thrive at 100, depending on like if you stay in Cleveland, you could thrive at 100. If you stay in California, fuck no. Fuck no. 140 in California, I think you could start to thrive. You could
Shit. Nah, nigga, you can either ask Anton Daniels for a loan, nigga. If you only make 140 in Cali, nigga, you need some.
Certain parts, it ain't gonna be crazy. New
Pastor
York,
D.
it's certain in New York, 140, you're gonna stay in a cubicle. That's where you're gonna live at. It's gonna be extremely small. It's gonna be extremely small. So it really depends on where you at. Probably like 140 in like maybe like Louisiana. Thriving.
You don't
All out.
You don't need that much.
Now, if you start going out the country, oh shit, boy, that 140, shit, generational wealth.
Live like a king.